welcome back, or howdy ladies and gentlemen, to another video, sending out a lot of love. I scrapped my confidence video. I had a full confidence video for y'all, but I think I want to talk about Flowstate. The confidence video I was sharing a bit much, but don't worry, because you're gonna get fire videos from now on. What is up though? To talk about Flowstate, I made 2 shorts before I made the actual video, but I think I felt good about it. I felt good about doing a part 1 and a part 2 to Flowstate. Now this video will be fully about the Flowstate. So, the Flowstate. What I would like to say in the beginning is it is very cliche to what you already know or what you may hear people say. It is an absolute 100% connection in a moment between your mind, your body, and your soul. And the thing is it doesn't have to be as complicated as people may make it. It is literally the simpler, I feel like the simpler, almost like, since I referenced Bruce Lee in the shorts, it's literally like the drunken style. I think he also showed off the drunken style, like when they move like this and they have that whole like martial art of, you know, in like being flow and dodging. Even like Wing Chun, where it's like this time-space martial art where you just like, you're attacking and defending at the same time. It's literally like that. The flow state is like, you're able to, it almost feels like, for me at least, this is my own testimonial, you're almost like in an endless creative state where I've made dance videos and I'm like, okay, let's shoot, like I've shot 3 dance videos in a day. Or I'm like, I'm over here, even since I'm doing reaction videos, commentary and stuff like that, even doing these types of videos where you're literally just hearing me talk behind the camera, it's like I get into this flow where it's just, it feels like everything rolls off. Just, it rolls off the chest. But, and it just falls out the mind. But the best thing about it is, if you know what you're good at, it is magnified by 10. Like, say, if I was a painter, or if I was an artist, or if I was an artist, same. I always say this and I'm like, well, we are all kind of artists and author in our own right. But say you're an author, say you're a chef, say you, I don't know, you fix power lines, say you're a lumberjack. I just looked at the tree and thought of a lumberjack. But what it is when you're doing that, it almost feels like you're in a flow. So say you're cutting down those trees and you're just like, man, today is a day. You may get tired, but it's almost like you feel this overwhelming sense of, I just can't stop, but not in a way where it's a burning passion. Sometimes that feeling can come with it, but sometimes it's just this relaxed state where you're like, you're just in this kind of like, I don't want to say a zombie mode, because you're not in a zombie mode. It's almost like you're in this, you look like you're zen, but you're not like tired and drained. No, you're in this state where it's like you're using the perfect amount of reserves from your energy and like the perfect amount of action applied. Like, it's insane. Like, when I be dancing, I'm just flowing. I'm like, woo, woo, woo. And then I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of tired, but let's go on to the next one. So that boom, boom, I'm popping in there and I'm like, oh, this is simple. And you're just there. It's like a part of your mind that would be trying to stop you or make you doubt yourself. It turns off. It turns off completely. And some people don't even have it. That's why I say when you train your mind, it'll come more natural to where you don't even have any distraction, where you're like in a constant flow state. So sometimes people look up to, I'm trying to get a really good example, but I don't want to give one that I normally give. But let me think of someone. You know what? Because he was a big inspiration to me, I'll talk about Aaron Dowdy, and I'm pretty sure he has Flowstate videos. I think I've seen a couple of the Flowstate videos. That's why the knowledge seems very similar, because it's honestly an all roads lead to the same place situation where it's the same for literally everybody. But it looks different for everybody. It is the same concept, but different things will help you. Like, one of the things I love that my cousin said for things like law of attraction or reality being a mirror of what you feel, or just manifestation, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing with the flow state. It's going to look different for everybody, and everyone's going to have a different step into getting there. Some people might even put themselves in a trance. So what's the best example I can give? Almost like, say like this, say like I hang my hand like this, and like before every, let's say I was a model for a fashion show or something. Before I walk out on the catwalk, I go like this. I like sit in the mirror and I'm sitting here, and like every time I wave my hand like this, I'm gonna absolutely like turn off and just go into this mode where I'm like zen. Now sometimes that could be to trigger like confidence and other things, but I feel like that could also be a trigger to get you into a flow state. So sometimes, like, you know, people meditate, then come out of that and almost feel like, yeah, I know exactly what I gotta do. So it's just like that. It's a literal flow. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just literally everything flows together. It's almost like you have waffles for breakfast and you eat the waffles, but you felt like this isn't just you waking up and eating waffles. This is like you're like eating the waffles and you're like, woo, for some reason I want to go over here and do this now. Then when you go and do that, that flows. Then the next activity flows, and then you get to the end of the day and you're like, holy shit, it felt like I was in sync the entire day. And that is a flow state. I'm so telling you, you will know when you're in it, because it's almost like feeling unstoppable without feeling unstoppable. It's like that. It's like that type of cliche saying. It's like reading without reading. You're not in a mode where you're not receptive to anything going on around you. You are. But it comes with such ease that you're like, what is this? And the best part, okay, so I kind of feel like, for me, I'm gonna give my own personal testimonial again. For me, I like to say that don't acknowledge that you're in the flow state, or it'll take you out of it. It's almost like a dream. I don't know how many of you may be lucid dreamers watching this, but it's almost like when you realize you're in a dream, you wake up from it. Make sense? So it's like when you're in the flow state and your mind kind of realizes, or you have that moment, sometimes maybe people are able to snap back. I don't know if I've talked to anyone that has, but you know, it's literally like, don't acknowledge it. Like, as soon as the thought pops up that you're in it, just be like, oh, I know. Just tell your mind, I know, we good, let's go. And keep it flowing. Because it is like when your mind turns off. So like when it realizes, it's like waking up from a dream. You realize you're in a dream, and then you're like, shit, it like goes wrong. Another great example that I think of this is when I watch certain different types of anime, or either anime or even like action movies, where the main character, or whoever it may be, is in the flow, and then like 1 minute they like doubt or realize something, or like, oh, what is this? And that little moment snaps them completely out of it, and then they're like, fuck. And it's just like, that is what it's like. So in short, that is the flow state. I think I condensed that the best way I've ever said that, because that really is the flow state. It's just when everything flows. And I will shout out to Bruce Lee one more time, the saying, be water, my friend, because water, it takes the shape of anything it's in. So it's almost like you just gotta go with it. You gotta just be able to, I don't even know how to really, it's almost like one of those things where you also can't really explain it to someone. They have to experience. It's like, I can lead you to the door, but guess what? Your ass gotta flow through the door. You gotta flow through the door. So that's the best way to put it. Anyways, much love and moonlight, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.